Welcome back to Additive ASMR. Today we have another skeleton animal that we are going to assemble. Today we have a rhinoceros. I was pretty excited when I saw this one because I always thought rhinos were a pretty sweet animal. A little surprised though, out of all the animals, how many extra parts he has. Kind of thought that the horns that printed separate kind of would have just printed right in place, because his head kind of prints like this on the printer. And I thought, how hard would it be to kind of just have the the horns just sticking out of kind of the tip of his skull, but that's okay. We have some more brims that we can remove with our deburring tool, so that'll be fun. We'll probably start with that, but we have the two horns, the skull, the jaw of the skull. That's kind of the other piece that we've been seeing the other skeleton animals have brims on. And then we actually printed a neck separately. The head's gonna snap onto here, and then pretty sure this snaps onto the body right above my finger. You can see that hole where it's gonna snap. And then, as always, we have a nice flexy body. This is where all the good sounds come from. But he's got the moving legs, moving torso. This one can move a lot. I almost thought that the cat would have had the most amount of movement, but looks like the rhino does. He's got that really big predominant shoulder spine there. That's pretty cool. Kind of can control the whole front of the body. So we'll keep this guy off to the side for now. Put our skull over there. Put our neck over there, and let's deburr some parts. And we'll get our handy dandy deburring tool from our drawer. It's got a nice knurling pattern on it. That's what this grippy pattern's called, the knurling pattern. Knurling, 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 knurling. Okay. That's one horn down. Let's get the bigger horn. That's the bigger horn. Okay, that's the jawbone. Nice and clean. We can put away our deburring tool. Get our little fuzzies cleaned up. I usually just use a handheld vacuum cleaner to grab up all the pieces that I trimmed off there. Okay. So, I think now we can start assembling. And I'm trying to think of the best way to do it. I'm thinking if I put the neck and skull together first, that would be best. So here comes the best click. I think the spine will point up. I mean, it should be able to pivot once it's on there, but I think it's intended to be up. So let's give it a shot. Ooh, that was a good click. Yeah, it can pivot a little bit. Nice. Looks pretty good. And then I think this joint, you can see right there, is what kind of fits into the neck, into the body. You can see the fluted area right here. I think that's meant to squeeze in once it pushes in. It's kind of got these rounded features on the side. I think it's meant to grab onto that and then push the two sides in as you're assembling. So I think it just goes in there. Let's press down on it. Ooh, there we go. I think he should, oh, that's really nice. That's a really nice joint right there. Get the head swivel. Nice. Now I think let's put on the jaw. Got our jawbone. Line it up on one side. We got a nice click. Rawr, rawr. Cool looking. Now, there is no joint on the Rhino. You can kind of see it's just a hole. And there's no snappy feature on the horn. So, what I'm actually thinking of doing is to just use some super glue. Got this crazy glue. I bought this at Target very late one night. I was assembling a bunch of trophies that I do for my side business, Additive Endeavor, and I needed to glue together 60 mountain bike trophies the night before an event, and I ran out of super glue that I was using and ended up running to Target because it was the only thing close enough and open, and I found where they had super glue, and this was all they had on the shelf, and I'm like, oh sweet, they have all this super glue that I can get. So I pretty much bought them out of this super glue, and I probably got 6 or 7 containers about this size, and I was like, well, let's overbuy just in case. we don't have enough super glue. We don't want to run out again and then really be out of trouble. Little did I know, this is not a squeeze super glue. It's a paintbrush super glue. It ended up being able to work, but it took much longer to paint everything than just pouring super glue into the orifices that I was trying to fill and glue parts together with. So just a funny reason. So I have a whole bunch of these sitting around in my apartment. So, but I think in this case it'll actually work really well, because we'll just be able to paint the super glue into the rhinoceros horn, or the gap in the skull, and then place the rhinoceros horn. So that's what we're gonna do. Got some glue on there, and we'll just paint it in. Let's do one more dip. There we go. Put that back in the jar. And let's see if it fits. Probably should have did the smaller horn first, but that's okay. Ooh, there we go. Just kind of slid in there. Got some fuzzies. Nice. I actually think that's going to hold pretty well. Even with just the one horn, he looks pretty menacing. But I think that second one's going to be a nice touch. So, while that guy dries, let's glue the other opening here. I had a art teacher in elementary school that just always said, whenever we got the glue out to use for a project, she'd always say, just a dot, not a lot. I don't know if every art teacher ever says that, or if it was just mine, but there was always kids that would just use way too much glue. Pretty much glue themselves to the table. Dang kids. Okay, let's shove the smaller horn in there. Nice. Hold it there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. That is a good looking rhinoceros, if I do say so myself. Kind of get them posed here while I put away my glue. Nice. Well, since we got them assembled now, let's do a little bit of extra tapping with our claws that we printed in our other video. Okay. Well, if you enjoyed this video, or if you're just a 3D printing enthusiast, feel free to like and subscribe to our video. And until next time, keep printing those Z's.